DT.
Daniel, yo, we've got a lot of the same family tuning in this evening. I can see it by the surname. All right. I love it. All right, guys. So as you come in, I want to see if you can actually find the emoji. So just give us a thumbs up. Give us a heart. Give us a kiss if you want to give the presenter this evening some love. You're more than welcome to do that. Yes, there we go with the streamers. That's amazing. Great stuff, guys. So I'm just going to quickly get the recording going, and then we're going to dive in and jump. So get ready. So evening, everyone. Really nice to have you all here this evening. I absolutely love this topic, and I absolutely have the most incredible amount of respect for the presenter this evening, a lady that has done so many amazing things. She is an absolute legend. She's a lady. She's a master. She masters everything she does. And the specific topic that she's going to cover this evening is so relevant in our society today, in our life today, and everybody we work with. But before we get to our presentation, I want to just quickly find out, is there anybody that want to unmute and give us some good news, give us some feedback? What happened to you in the last 7 days since our last meeting? Is there anything special you want to share with us? A breakthrough, maybe a grandchild that was born, maybe you won the lotto, maybe you got a new car, maybe you got a new job, maybe you just had some fun, and maybe you rediscovered the love you have for life. So do you want to unmute yourself? You're more than welcome. If you want to raise your hand, you're more than welcome, and give us some feedback. Right. Good evening, Patricia. Patricia, you on my screen right now, and you've got white clothes on. You look like an angel. So please unmute yourself and just tell us quickly what happened to you in the last 7 days. All right. Okay, so she's giving us a streamer. She's not gonna unmute herself now. Are you okay there? Chop? All good? Fantastic. All right. Wonderful. Who am I gonna pick on this evening? Let's see. Am I gonna pick on someone? Let's go. Yes, I'm gonna ask Dorette. Can you please unmute yourself and just give us just a one-liner, two-liner? What happened to you in the last 7 days? What are you excited about? What happened? What is amazing? Give us some feedback.
Hi, Gideon. Yeah, it's going well. I'm in a good place with my clients. It's getting to the end of the year, so we're trying to bring things to a close so that everyone can take a break, and looking forward to starting the new year, a clean slate. We are the clients I'm working with at the moment. We're kind of prepping for the new year. What needs to happen? Where do they want to be next year this time? You know, we are looking at what needs to change in their lives so that we know when we start the new year, what are we working on? What are the goals? What do we need to do? The plans, the action steps, all of that. So yeah, it's a nice place to be in this time of the year, but also looking forward to eventually taking a little break. It's been a long year, so I'm looking forward to taking a break.
Wonderful. Dorette, thank you so much for sharing, and it's always nice to hear from you. So for anybody that is brand new this evening, that's tuning in for the very first time, huge congratulations and welcome to our platform. Our platform is called Momentum, and it is designed for members of the public, anybody that needs a bit of upliftment, everybody that needs a little bit of extra guidance, everybody that needs a little bit of support. And then we also have a huge network of professionals that we support on an ongoing basis. So welcome to you wherever you might find yourself around the world this evening. I know if we start asking where you're from and where you're tuning in from, literally our platform is now running in at least 5 or 6 different countries on any given Thursday. So welcome wherever you might be tuning in from. And it's a very, very special evening this evening. All right. So guys, without any further ado, I would like to introduce to you our special guest for this evening, a lady that needs no introduction for the professionals because she makes such a big impact. Every time she says something, every time she brings something to the table, you can really sit up and listen, and you can really take what she actually shares, because she knows her stuff and she knows what she's talking about. So welcome to everyone that's tuned in for the very first time tonight to actually listen to Lydia. I'm not going to say her surname because I know I'm going to butcher it, but I know that she's done quite a lot to prepare for this evening. And you will also see, if you pay attention to her background, she's got lots and lots of heritage from Portugal, all right? And that's why she's got a very special background, a very special message for all of us this evening. So without any further ado, can I get you to please make some noise, leave some streamers, give us some thumbs up, and welcome to the call our special guest speaker this evening, Lydia, Lady Lydia. Good evening, Lady Lydia.
Thank you so much, Gideon. It's lovely to be here tonight and to be presenting to everyone. And behind me here, that is actually the Óbidos Castle in Portugal. And Google Meet can create all of this for you. And I've also got Spanish art as well over here. So all of that is there.
Right.
AI is amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So good evening, everybody. I wanted to first ask you, because you've got right now, you're looking at a screen that's in front of you. And did you know that right now, your brain is actually deleting most of what's on your screen right now? Not sure if you realize that, but you might not have. And I'm going to be sharing a lot of information regarding your beautiful brains. And sometimes people will think, but I'm paying attention, I'm looking at the screen. So why is this happening to me, or what's wrong with me? It's not because you're not paying attention, but it's because reality is just too big and your brain has to filter. If it didn't filter, we would not be okay. So your brain deletes most things, and then it highlights things that it thinks is relevant. And that is why I'm going to train you on your RAS. I'm going to go into a lot more detail later on. And if you think about it, your brain is, it actually deletes a lot of things, and it actually highlights what it thinks is relevant. So it can also be a problem, and it is also an opportunity for you. So depending where your RAS is, you can either miss things or you'll notice things that nobody else has noticed. So it's relevant, and it's, you know that it's shaped by your identity, your beliefs, and what you repeat with emotion. And if you think about it as well, two people can sit in the same online session like we are right now. And you can be sitting as a family, or you sitting today, and you might share it with your colleague and ask, what did they pick up from this? Two people can sit in the exact same online session and hear the same message, and the one walks away seeing solutions and the other one walks away seeing problems.
Yes.
So it's the same screen, different filter. Okay. And I've got a picture on the screen. If you notice, the woman is looking out the window. She's looking out a window and she's seeing the same view, but there's different colors. So she can see a beautiful view. She can see the beautiful buildings, all the history and everything. She can smell maybe the coffee. She opens the window. She knows if there's a coffee shop downstairs. They've made fresh bread, especially if she's in Portugal. She's getting all this beautiful smells and everything. Somebody else might open it and look out and they go, oh my word, there's been no rain. It's so dry. Look at the traffic. So people can look out the same window and see different things. So I just want you to be aware of that. And that's what we're going to train you on for the rest of the evening. Okay, that's the whole point of tonight. And you'll notice that Lydia is going to be repeating herself quite a few times. And I'm doing that just so that it really just becomes sticky in your mind, what we're going over today. Gideon will mute.
Yes, I will mute. Yeah.
And so it's important to understand that when we are looking at the same life and we feel something completely different, it doesn't mean that the difference is not life. The actual difference is your brain. Okay. So it's reality, totally different experience. Are you muted?
Yeah, I'm trying my best to find the unmuted person. So that means
not muted. You can just click on the mute button so that you don't
Yes, there we go.
take
It's done.
mute. Okay, wonderful. All right,
Thank
so tonight is all about training your RAS. And in a nutshell, the RAS is your brain's attention filter, and it decides what you notice, and it also decides what you miss, and it decides what's important.
So Lydia,
Yes.
can I ask? I know there's quite a number of people here that's never heard of the RAS. What does it stand for?
Reticular Activating System, and that is on one of the slides.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Yes, because sometimes we get confused with the spelling of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to look at that.
Okay.
So I have a question to ask, and you can all put a thumbs up. Has anyone ever had a day when something small happened and it ruined your entire day? Okay. Gideon, you were first. That put a tick, a thumbs up. Yeah. So that is your RAS working. Okay. And we'll go into it. We're going to start learning how do we train that RAS so that it starts seeing things different. So that is perfect. That is your filter at work. And now we're going to learn how it is, how to use your RAS for you, and we're going to learn how to train it. Okay, let's go. All right. So we are aware that your brain is not showing you reality. That is the simple truth. Your brain filters out most of what is happening around you. Can I see some thumbs up if this is new to you? Okay. And because some people don't realize it, and they might realize that something has happened, but they can't figure it out. So today we're going to figure it out. So the reason why the brain filters is because reality is just too big. There's just too much information. There's too many details. You can even think about now where you are sitting. There might be things happening on the side. The cat might be coming onto the table, or there might be a dog barking. Something might be going on. So there's a lot of things happening around you. So you visually see it. You might hear it. You might smell it. There's different things happening at the same time. So reality is too big. There's just too much information. And if you noticed everything, your brain would just be overwhelmed and you would actually feel stuck. So thankfully, our brains are smart. We've got beautiful brains, and the brain is here to edit so that you don't see what is real, but you see what your brain thinks is relevant. And what is relevant? So how does the brain decide what is relevant? Does anybody want to take a guess while I sip my water?
It's based on your memory from yesterday.
Memories, yes.
Based on your environment that you find yourself in.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody wants to leave a comment in the chat box?
Maybe a situation, yes. It can be based on what you hear, yes. So it can be many things, but all of that, if you think about your memory, things that happened before, that becomes your beliefs, because you saw something happening, you think, oh, this happened, therefore, because even in your childhood, things happened, all of that. So that is really, it decides what is relevant based on three things. And that's the first thing is your beliefs, your identity, and your current focus. And if you think about it, if your inner story tells you, I'm behind, your brain is going to look for proof to show that you are behind. If you tell your brain, I'm so tired, your brain is going to give you reasons and proof that you are tired. You'll start yawning. You won't be able to finish tasks and everything. And it's all because you told your brain that you are tired. So it's going to find reasons to prove that you are right. Okay.
Okay.
And if your story is, I can grow, what is your brain going to do? It's going to give you proof that you can grow.
Yes.
All right. And does anybody want to take a guess? And I think many people have Googled this before. How many bits per second is happening at the same time around you?
Sure. I'm not going to say the number. Let's see if there's anybody that wants to give us that number.
There's too many, yes.
Too many.
It is, okay, so when you research, sometimes the number changes. So I just like to go in and just check it almost before I have to present this kind of thing. And it is between 10 and 11 million bits per second. Huh? How amazing are our brains, if you think about it? And it's from all the senses combined. So your eyes see the most. That is 10 million bits. Yeah, the eyes is the most, and then it's the skin is like 1,000, then it's the ears, it's 100. So the eyes is the most.
Sure.
Okay. And what do you think you focus on? Anything between 5 and 20 bits per second. So a lot can be happening here, but you're only going to focus on a few things because based on what you've trained your RAS to focus on. Okay. How interesting and how amazing.
Sure.
Now we're going to do a little exercise. We're going to have a quick demo. And I'm going to ask you to do something, and I don't want you to overthink it. But the first thing you're going to do is you're going to look around your room where you are. You're going to look around everywhere. Don't move from the chair. Stay seated. Look around the room and see how many blue things can you see. And I'm going to count to 10. You have 10 seconds. Count the blue things. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did you count the blue? Thumbs up. Ooh, clapping hands. Good. Is there anything that you missed? How many red things? Don't look around. And how many? And tell me how many red things did you find, or did you see? Does anybody want to comment? Cole said 3 red. So, and that could be because there's memory. You know what's in your room. So, okay, Sandro, 13. Is this blue or red? Okay. I can only remember one red. Okay. So let me share an interesting fact. Because I asked you to look for blue, when you're looking around for blue, you basically missed the red. You're focusing on the blue. And then when I ask you, tell me what blue you saw, because you were focused on the red, you would probably miss the blue. The other way around, sorry. Okay.
Gotcha.
Was that freaky or weird for anyone? And you're welcome to share or type in the chat. I'll read the chat later. Okay, so it's important to know and to realize that whatever you are focusing on, you're going to see. So because I said, look for blue, you looked for blue. And then when I asked how many red things did you see, you generally wouldn't find red, unless you know in your room you've got that red. Okay, so it's important to know that. And another thing I just want to bring up, sometimes if somebody mentions that they're getting a new car, for example, and they say they're getting the Cherry, or there is that car, and I'll say to them, I've never seen the Cherry, I've never heard of the Cherry. And then because they've told me, they've actually awakened something in my RAS that when I'm driving, I see the Cherry here, I see it there, and I think, like, oh my word, it's actually everywhere. That is your RAS. That is your RAS working.
Okay.
Is it amazing or is it amazing?
Absolutely fascinating. So Lydia, did you go to work today?
Yes.
And how many red cars did you see on your way to work?
0. I did a lot of driving today and I saw 0.
If I promised you 500 Rand for every red car that you were going to see today?
No, has the presentation gone off?
It's gone off, yes.
It's gone off, okay. I would make up a number.
All right, you will start driving around looking for red cars, right?
I'll go to the parking lot and I'll find some red cars.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So quite interesting. And if our RAS is not focusing and looking for the good and the positive, for example, or for the opportunities, you're going to miss a lot of it. So it's important that we learn how to train the RAS, and that is why you are here. Okay. Next. So are you ready to meet your RAS?
Yes.
You're excited? I want to see some streamers.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And what's important is when we meet our RAS, we'll understand that we can stop blaming ourselves and thinking like, oh, I'm so silly, I'm so stupid, I'm this. Do not say those words. You are not. So stop blaming yourself and actually just start training yourself and training your RAS. Let's go and look at it. And you can see how it sparkles. Can you see I put muscles in there? And I put spelling of the reticular activating system. And you can see it's actually known as, some people refer to it as the bouncer of your brain. So it's basically at the door. So it's somewhere at the basal, it's at the end of your brain. And people refer to it as the bouncer because it's actually the door of your mind. And really what it is a small network of neurons at the base of your brain. And its job, bring some things up, its job is actually to let in what matches your current VIP list. And your VIP list is your beliefs, your fears, your active goals, and your repeated thoughts. So whatever you are repeating, you're going to see. And if you're wanting to have a bad day, you will wake up feeling negative and something wrong happens and you'll think, oh, this happens in threes. I'm just waiting for the next two things to go wrong. The next two things will probably go wrong. So we've got to wake up and remember, I think Gideon as well, we love affirmations. Saying things in the morning, the first thing when you wake up is get that sunlight and actually say your affirmations. And life will be different. Can I get some streamers to know that everybody's still here?
Absolutely.
Thank you. And your active goals, yes. Okay. So your RAS creates repeated patterns, and this is important to understand. Many people feel that these repeated patterns makes them feel and believe that they are actually stuck because it's on repeat. So your RAS scans for proof because that's the script that you are using, and that script is true for your RAS. So you notice, you remember, and you react to what matches that script. And your identity writes that script and your RAS plays it on repeat. So if you're like to worry and you're talking about things going wrong, what's going to happen? It's going to happen. You're going to continue worrying. And if you believe, I always attract the wrong people, I'm so bad with money, or clients are too hard to find, what's going to happen? Your RAS is going to find proof that the wrong people will come because you're only seeing that wrong person. You notice and remember and react to what matches your script. Very important just to remember. And your identity repeats that script. Okay. I hope this is impactful and life-changing for you, because this is one of the things when I first started studying NLP, that when I heard about the RAS, and I noticed somebody else here, her name's Raisa, she's a master NLP practitioner as well. She and I think the RAS was our most favorite topic when we first started learning about NLP. So I'm going to ask you this question. What is the one script that you've been running lately? And you don't have to say it out loud. You can just think about it. If you want to, you're welcome to share it in the chat as well. If there's anything that you have been running in your mind often. So the good news is that your RAS listens to 3 inputs and you can upgrade all 3, and we're going to learn how to do that. Has anybody noticed anything about my slides? There's something on the slides that you might see here and there. Can I have a raised hand or put it in the chat? I want to see if RAS has picked up anything. Can somebody share? Not you, Gideon. Are there? The crown. Yes? Yes. The crown. Okay. So, and for those of you that know me, you will know that the crown is there because I'm the daughter of the king. And I I have the crown. The crown is part of my identity. I have earrings. I have a ring. All of that, just to remind me who I am. And that's part of my identity. Okay, so a lot of you picked up the crown. I'm impressed. That was your RAS. Okay. And let's listen and find out, what does the RAS listen to? So the first thing that's important is focus. It will listen to 3 things, and the first thing we're going to look at is focus. So whatever you keep looking for, you will find more of. And the fastest way to aim your focus is the questions you ask. And sometimes when something happens, we can say, like, why does this keep happening to me? It's always happening to me. It happens to no one else. Why is this happening to me? You can either ask that, and if you do, your brain is going to search for blame. It's going to search for danger. Whereas if you ask, if something bad has happened, you ask yourself, what is my next best step? Your brain automatically, because that is an open, it opens the brain for answers, it will automatically start searching for solutions. And your brain will answer the questions. So all you have to do is just ask better questions. Okay. And I thought of sharing some close the brain questions and open the brain questions, and that's I refer to as bad questions and better questions. So a bad question you might ask yourself is like, why am I like this? Or why is nothing working? Or what if I fail? Instead, you ask different questions, questions that open up the brain and get those answers. And you can ask for things like, what is one thing I can control today? What does progress look like at 10%? What is 10% progress for me? And what would I do if I trusted myself? And then my favorite is the next smallest step that still counts. So what can I do just to move the next step and the next step? And that is very good for people that like to procrastinate. Just start doing it and start doing that step. And even if you're doing it just for 2 minutes, it will actually make a change and a difference. Okay. The next thing your RAS listens to is language. Very important. How do we speak to ourselves? Your words are really instructions to your brain. I can't stress this enough. If you think about it, your unconscious brain, I think it's like 90% of the brain is that when we are speaking, it's the unconscious that is actually working. 10% is your conscious. Your unconscious, just before you go to sleep and just before you wake up, is actually so ready for instructions and for you to rewire it, that you can speak to it and speak life. The Bible even says speaking life is what we should be doing. And there's death and power in the tongue. So very important. Your words are instructions of your brain. So like I mentioned earlier, if you keep saying, I'm always tired, the brain treats this as your identity. And you can change it to say, even when I'm tired, I can still do the smallest version that counts. And then your brain's automatically going to start looking for ways to follow through. And that is called a bridge statement formula. And I'm going to be sharing this, the PDF that's going to be sent to you in the WhatsApp group. And so that is called a bridge statement formula. And it starts with, even when I feel tired, I can still do the smallest thing. And examples could be those that get anxious now and then. Even when I feel anxious, I can still breathe and respond. Even when I feel tired, I can still do the smallest thing and the smallest little version that can just move that needle forward. Even when I feel behind, I can still take one aligned step. Okay. Then there's something else that I wanted to share, and that's called an identity upgrade formula. And I like this because you start off saying, I am someone who. So, and there are many clients that I speak to, and even on the call, I am someone who keeps small promises to myself. That is a nice example. I am someone who communicates calmly. I am someone who finishes what I start. Okay, and that is called identity formula upgrade. Quite amazing. And now the third one is emotion. Who can remember what I said? Emotion is the brain's something. You can put it in the chat. Let's see who's been listening. Even though you've got 11 million bits of information around you. I'll check in the chat. The brain is, emotion is the brain's highlighter. Whatever you feel strongly about and repeat often gets marked as important. And that's why worry, overwhelmed, like Tuki said, can become a habit. That is like a highlighter, but in some ways there's certain things that need to change. So that emotion is the brain's highlighter, and whatever you feel strongly about and repeat gets marked as important for your brain. And that's why even if you repeat being confident and do like the power poses and do all those things that you've learned, or I mean, ChatGPT can help us as well. What is it that you need to learn to do? You can even become confident. Confidence can become a habit too. If you're slouching like this when you enter a room, what does that say about you? If you're standing like this, you're more open, more confident. Automatically, when you go like this, you will feel lack of confidence. So practice certain things and link it to your emotion. So if you can change your language and your an emotion, you can actually update your RAS. Who is excited about that? Okay, so if you think about it as well, I'm saying so you think about it a lot of times. It's like changing your search settings. You start seeing a different world, all because you're searching differently. Let's move on. Change your focus, change your language and your emotional repetition, and your RAS must update. That is the great news of this evening. So we don't have to stay the same. Today is not motivation. Information does not rewire your brain. Repetition does, emotion does, and action does. Those three things change and rewire your brain. Why does repetition change? Because what you repeat becomes very familiar, becomes a habit, and repetition builds a pathway. The emotion, because emotion is the brain's highlighter, and emotion will like flag it in your brain as this is important because there's that feeling. And sometimes people attend like certain things and things really touch them so much that they feel so deeply about that. And that becomes this highlighter. The RAS has shown them something that really touches their heart. So that is emotion and action. And because action is the evidence is what updates our identity. So simply put, we can say action creates evidence and evidence updates identity. Tonight, we're not just learning, we're actually going to learn how to install simple, repeatable frameworks that you can use for your goals, relationships, and for your business. Your RAS listens to what you repeat with emotion, and then it guides what you notice and what you ignore. That's why action matters. It actually tells the RAS, this is real and it's important. Let's prioritize it.
So, sorry, Lydia.
Yes.
You said action does what and what does what?
Action, because action is evidence, and evidence is what updates the identity. So if you think about it, action creates evidence, evidence updates the identity, because that repeated behavior automatically becomes your identity after doing it so many times. Loretta, was that you?
So it's like a feedback that
Yes,
you get.
it was me.
I'll-
Gideon, did you get that? I'm going to write it down for us on the chat.
I will, and I will send it to you. Okay. We can actually, yeah, we'll actually, I can make extra notes on this. Okay. Okay, so now what we're going to do is learn this method. It's called the shift method. And I'm going to actually bring them all up. Okay. So if you can remember this shift method, you can actually reprogram your RAS in any context at all. The first thing you need to do is the S is to set the target, giving your brain a clear job for 7 days. And that is the method that I'm giving to you as well. It will be sent to you via WhatsApp in this group. And the first thing is, if you want to change your RAS, do it for 7 days. So the target is you give your brain a clear job for 7 days. And the RAS cannot hit the target that you can't define. If there are vague goals, it's going to create vague results. So we are going to get specific for 7 days. And that's the first thing is S, set that target. Give your brain a clear job for 7 days. The next part is the H, which is hack the script. Upgrade the sentences you keep living inside and speaking inside, because your RAS listens to that story. So get rid of the old script. And then my favorite is igniting that emotion. Feel that future, feel that emotion, because that emotion is a highlighter. And if you feel nothing, your brain just tags it as unimportant. And if you attach a feeling to that new target, it actually becomes sticky. And once we've practiced this, and I'll give you an example, and I'm going to ask you to do one, it actually becomes easier and you'll remember it. So after igniting emotion, it is forward with micro action. So there's got to be action as well. And one tiny action in the next 24 hours is going to create the evidence, and that evidence rewires your identity. And my suggestion to you is, after watching this, and you'll see that you'll get the PDF, is start creating your own, and maybe do one every week. Just get into the practice and start doing it within 24 hours. Because if you don't, you might forget about it, and you might think about it in December, which is next week. So just try and do it within the next 24 hours. Then T is to track the evidence, and proof changes identity faster than hype. Your brain actually changes when it sees proof.
Yes.
You're going to start collecting proof every day, and then you'll on the PDF, you'll see it will even say, today my RAS showed me. Today my RAS showed me. Because what you track, you train. And what you train becomes your new normal, your new identity.
Sure.
Okay. If you can remember shift, like I mentioned earlier, you can reprogram your RAS in any context. Thank you, Daniel, for putting that back in. And then as people see it popping up, it's going to be stuck in our memories. Okay, let me give you an example of this working. So here we've got the shift. And in this example, I said for the next 7 days, my RAS is looking for tiny ways to create energy and follow through when I feel tired. Okay, so we're going to turn a stuck identity into a trained identity using this method. The old script was, I'm too tired, so I can't. The new script is, even if I'm tired, I create energy.
Yes.
Doing the smallest version that counts. When my RAS is aligned, I feel these things. What do you feel when your RAS is aligned? You feel proud, capable, lighter, and also almost like relieved that you're not feeling like stuck anymore. What is the forward in the next 24 hours? Every time you get an excuse, you immediately choose one step and then do it for 2 minutes. Who is brilliant with excuses? We can all do that. So I try and be very mindful of excuses and try and stop it. And So very important, forward micro action. Every time I catch an excuse, I will immediately just choose to do the next step and do it for 2 minutes. That is also for those people that procrastinate. Just do it for 2 minutes. And once you get into it, you'll finish it. And here is tracking the evidence. I put 3 examples here. Today, the RAS showed me one moment I wanted to quit. The tiny action I did anyway. How my energy changed after starting. How powerful. And how amazing. Okay, so that's the example. And you doing this for you, I want you just to, right now, you can just think about you and find one area that you feel you really need to change. And it can either be to do with your health or energy. It can be money, career, business, relationships, confidence. Choose something that really feels close to you and and that you really need to make a change in your life. So I'll give you a few seconds just to think of something. And if you want, you can also, if you want, you can also just put it in the chat and share with everyone. Okay. Let me show you. Okay, there we go, getting some good. Business, emotional, daily activity, health. Good. So this is what your PDF is going to look like. It is a 7-day reset exercise. It's got space for you to put exactly what you need to make this change and to start training your own brain. And I've got it here just to show you what it looks like here. So Gideon will be sending you this. It's a 1-pager and you can look at it. And I would suggest that every week, maybe every Monday, say today I'm going to start training my RAS to do this. On the next Monday, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then just start working through a few things. Or you can even do 1 a month. Because why I put there one tiny habit is, can you change your whole life in a day or in a week? What's going to happen if I tell you exactly? You're going to feel overwhelmed if I said you've got like 33 things that are wrong. We need to sort them out this week. You're going to run. Gideon, are you going to run?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think there's only 33 though. I think it's a lot more.
No, I did not want to say it was 163. I just thought we'd start with
Thanks for keeping it so light. You know, I feel like 33 I can achieve. It's 160 I'm worried about.
Yeah, it's yeah, don't worry about it. But so yes, so it's important that you only focus on one tiny action and one tiny thing to do, not many things, because it's going to overwhelm you. All right, so you'll receive that. And then this is also one of my favorite topics, is to remember who is in charge. Remember who's in charge, and that your RAS filters your energy. It listens to your focus, your language, and emotion. And shift gives you a way to direct that brain on purpose. There are no excuses now, because you know that you can train your brain to do something different. So you can't say, this is me, this is how I've always done it. We can change it now, because shift gives you a way to reprogram those filters on purpose. So we are not waiting for life to change or waiting for something better to come along. We are changing our brain, and we are changing what our brain calls relevant. And I've also got a question now that I can ask, and you can think about it, you can put it in the chat, is to complete the sentence. My brain has been filtering for, leave a line, and this week I'm training it for, and you can actually think about what you're going to focus on if you didn't do it earlier. Okay. So you are in charge. And then you are not someone just with the brain. You are the programmer of that brain. You are the captain of your ship. I love using this in my sessions. You are the driver of your bus. Nobody else has got control of us. our emotions. And if they do, there are things we need to work on, because I know it's hard. Sometimes things are said and we do get hurt. And if we allow that hurt to fester and get bigger, they are in charge of us and our bus. So we need to be the captain of our ship. You can see there I am. I'm on this beautiful brain. I've got my crown. I've got, can you see like the diamonds, the bling and all of that? So you are the captain of your ship, the driver of your bus. Your RAS is powerful, but it's not the boss. You are, because you can train it. You are not your thoughts. You are the one training your thoughts. So every time you run shift, you cast a vote for the person you're becoming. And small votes repeated daily becomes a new identity, a new you. And I'll leave you with this question before I move on to the slide, is what identity are you voting for this week? Okay. Your RAS is always listening. So whatever you're saying, and sometimes we just say things and we don't think about it, your RAS is listening, your future is listening. So remember, what you repeatedly focus on grows. What you repeatedly say becomes a belief. What you repeatedly do becomes evidence. So for the next 7 days, I ask that you look at one target and do the shift. And if you're a coach, do it with your clients. If you're a client listening here, share this with your family, your friends, and practice it yourself and start becoming the best version of you. One of my favorite quotes by one of my favorite human beings is Tony Robbins. And he says, where focus goes, energy flows. So I want you tonight, from today, you've got no excuses. You choose your focus on purpose. You train your filter. And I want you to watch those results follow. Thank you. That is me.
Yo, I can't believe you're done. I'm waiting for more and more. This is amazing. Can we do an encore? Who wants an encore? Who wants more?
We can. How do I
Encore.
unpin me? Yes. There we
We
go.
want more.
We want more. We want more. Yes, yes.
Thanks, I hope there was a lot of learning.
More and more and more.
Our favorite topic.
Wow. Sure. Lydia, thank you so much. I'm going to allow for some questions. If anybody's got any questions or need any clarity on anything, you are more than welcome to raise your hand. You're more than welcome to unmute. You're more than welcome to put it in the chat box. And we love to pick your brain while you are here, Lydia. This was an incredible presentation. I first of all want to say thank you for taking the time to make a presentation like this, not only to make the presentation, but to also go through all the preparation to go and make a cheat sheet that we're going to hand out to everyone, a document that you can go and use and work with. And the document is so well put together. It is absolutely stunning. So Lydia, thank you so much for putting the time and the effort in. This is really special. And I know that we got to see and experience your entire paradigm profile, brain profile, and all your different frames yesterday. And I can definitely see why you are aligned, towards the visionary, but also the task manager and the way you like to do things. I don't know if you know this, but we are basically dual framed exactly the same way. And I can clearly see the perfectionism and the way the slides were put together, how they move in and how they move out. That is absolutely special. I always look for those little intricate details, and that's where my RAS is tuned in, is to see all the little extras that we sometimes take for granted. So thank you very much, Lydia, for putting that together. I know there's hours and hours and hours that went into that presentation. Thank you very much.
Yes,
All right, so Daniel, sorry, you wanted to say?
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, Lydia, for a very insightful presentation. Good evening, everyone. Lydia, I think it was my cousin who said everyone has a plan until they get punched in the nose. Now, I want to hear from you. If someone has got his life against the ropes, how do you buy time to get back to the center of the ring and then start boxing cleverly again and apply all the strategies?
So I'll ask other people to also give feedback. So I'll start with me and then somebody else can give feedback. So that punch in the nose, to me, I see it. Have you ever heard of something called failure is feedback? There is no failure, but there's feedback.
Yes.
So that punch in the nose is actually just feedback. So you actually learn from that. So whatever it is that knocked them down, they'll think, okay, if it was like a punch in the nose and he's a boxer, for example, I'm just going to use that. But he knows exactly that that's coming and he's learned from it and he's going to do something different. Gideon, you might want to add something as well. That question was a very good question, Daniel. Thank you.
Yeah, Lydia, I think the moment you become aware that, you know, when something happens to you, it's not there to destroy you. It's actually there to teach you something. So I remember there was a stage in my life where everything, you know, were going according to plan, and then there were a stage in my life where everything wasn't going according to plan. And when you find yourself in that situation where things are not going according to plan, you tend to ask yourself the question, why me? Why me? You know, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? And then you get more and more of that to prove, like you've, you know, shared with us this evening. And then if you change that wording, Daniel, if you change that wording, instead of saying, so what did I do wrong, to what am I supposed to learn from this? Then it changes the entire dynamic. Like you said, Lydia, you reframe that, you use it, the SWIFT technique, then to make those small changes. All right, what am I supposed to learn from this? Have the opportunity to have the independent thought. So this is something that I actually have a lot of conversations to a lot of people about. It's about removing yourself from the environment so that you can actually be alone with your own thoughts. Because it's in that moment when you have the opportunity to be in 100% pure space, where nobody else influences the way you think and what you feel, then you can actually have a conversation with yourself, and then you can reflect on what happened to you in your life. So use that as an example, like Lydia just said, Daniel. It's not failure, it's feedback. Next time, what can I do better? What can I learn from this? How can I affect a different outcome? And then the moment you start doing that, your identity change, and you will automatically point your RAS in a different direction. I always like this example when I work with my clients to say, right, where's your satellite dish pointing? Because if you have that satellite dish pointing towards, you know, whatever it might be, you know, if you're in a bad relationship and there's certain characteristics that's associated with that relationship, and you leave that relationship because it's not good for you, but your RAS still points to the same person or the same kind of person, you will find exactly the same kind of person. It will be the exact same story. It will be the same movie. You will be eating popcorn, watching the exact same thing. If you want to have change in your life, you need to point that RAS in a different direction. And it starts off by changing your environment, changing the conversations you've got with yourself, not allowing outside influence to come in, but know what you want. Make sure that you know what you want. And if something happens, what am I supposed to learn from this? Great. My RAS is not pointing in the right direction. Let me go and point it again. It just makes it so much easier. Lydia, does that correct?
Well, Daniel, is Daniel happy with that? Because I'm seeing your comments, Daniel. How are you going to change this week? Your brain has been filtering for physical and emotional exhaustion, and this week you're going to be filtering for pockets of energy and excitement. That is amazing. So there's going to be a big change.
Fantastic. Thank you for asking that question, Daniel. I see that Gail has got a hand raised, and Gerda. Gail, you first, and then Gerda.
No, I sorry, I put my hand down. But when you said when these bad things happen, and you say why me, I read somewhere in one of my books that I will not lend to people because I'm fussy about my books, as you heard last week. That why not me? So
Mm.
that's what I say. If something horrible happens, which it does and can, then I'll say, okay, why not me? And what am I going to do about this now?
Yeah.
That was all.
Yeah, because you were given the strength to actually overcome that. So, you know, use the strength. This is a test to see how
Yeah.
strong you are. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Good. Gerda, you've got your hand raised.
Yes, thank you very much, Lydia. That was super, super informative. But the one thing that always tickled my fancy was, what does the reticular activating system means? The word, because the word is such a long, almost tongue twister.
Yes.
And I just now looked on AI and it says, yeah, reticular means net-like or web-like due to its structure, and activating because its primary function is to activate the cerebral cortex and maintain consciousness and arousal. Now I know too.
Good. Thank
That's
you.
all I wanted. Yeah,
Thank you, Heather.
that's well done. Well
in
done.
short, Gerda, it's your satellite dish.
And our satellite dish is looking for lemon meringue.
For cake. We're going to eat that cake for sure.
Okay.
Fantastic. Wonderful, wonderful. All righty. So, Lydia, thank you once again for that wonderful presentation. I know that you know you invited your entire family to come and support you this evening, and it's so lovely to see everybody's family supporting them when they do have the opportunity to actually talk to us about a topic that they are passionate about. So, first of all, family, I want to say thank you very much for allowing Lydia onto the platform this evening, for making her who she is, and for all the contribution that she makes to our community. It's really special. And I want to thank you all for being here this evening and supporting her. So, guys, next week, Thursday evening, I'm going to just quickly share my screen with you. We have just a few announcements to make, and then we're going to wrap it up. So for all the new guys, all the new people that's here for the very first time this evening, if you've got any questions, you can always refer back to the person that actually invited you onto the call this evening. I just want to see, there we go. Right, so if you were invited by someone this evening, make sure that you get back with them. If you've got any questions, you can reach them directly. If you don't know who invited you, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. I'm the one posting on the group, so you'll find my number very quickly. And if there's any professionals on the call this evening, remember, we have a special practice group that we use every Monday morning and every Friday morning from 6 o'clock until 7 o'clock, where we dive into certain aspects of running a successful practice and how to bring transformation for our clients. And then on a Wednesday morning, we've got a practitioner's training where we actually go through the different profiles. We learn how to use the paradigm program and the paradigm profiles to bring transformation for our clients. If there's anybody that's interested in finding out more about the paradigm profiles and using it in your practice, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. You're also welcome to ask your practitioner, get back to your practitioner. If you don't know who that is, you're more than welcome to reach out to me and I will help you with that. And then next week, Thursday evening, we have another momentum session, which is going to be absolutely next level. Lots and lots of surprises. That is open for the public as well as for professionals. And we do share the links on the group, so you're more than welcome to invite them to come along. Right. Just want to quickly see. Right, and then guys, there's going to be a special workshop that we're going to run on the 5th of December. That's next week, Friday. There's very limited seating available. So if you know of someone that is on the verge of burnout or that shows signs of self-harm, we're doing a very special workshop with our in-house psychology professional, Maralei Viljoen, next week, Friday. It is a special workshop that we're going to do. I will share the link again on how to register. Like I said, space is extremely limited, so you need to move quickly. Maralei is a lady that's got a vast amount of experience and understanding of exactly what goes on in the brain. Specifically, when we spoke about the RAS this evening, it made me realize that how all of these things are interconnected. and how self-harm is sometimes, a call for you to actually just the need for you to point your RAS in a different direction, and then also the burnout at the same time. So guys, simply amazing. I'm going to share the cheat sheet with you this evening. I really want you to take that cheat sheet and I want you to go and apply it. I want you to give us feedback. Give me feedback. I'm happy to discuss it with you. I'm happy to put you in touch with your coach or with the person that invited you this evening. If you've got any advice or any assistance that you need, please do reach out to me. I'm happy to take your call. So please connect with me. This is absolutely magic to have you once again on the call. Right, so I want to just quickly take the screen away. And yeah, so guys, I want to say thank you very much for tuning in this evening. Lydia, thank you so much for putting the slides together. We have a very special surprise next week, Thursday. You cannot miss out on it. It's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be over the top. So can I see one last time, some streamers, some hearts, some thumbs up for Lydia, who did an incredible job this evening. And until we see each other again, same time, same place, next week, Thursday, 7 o'clock, I'm going to leave you with this. I will look after me for you. Will you please look after you for me and all of us?